Hi guys, John with you, and it's time now to get started on the new project. Okay, in the last video we went to the pretty extensive unboxing, loads and loads of sprues, loads and loads of parts, and it looks quite interesting as well. Three colours as we know it. We've got green for the interior, black or close enough to black for the engine, and then we've got the beigey dark yellow for basically for the rest of the model, rest of the kit. So I have actually started. Yes, I have made a start, and I've done say step one. Okay, and step one, as we always know with armour, usually anyway with armour, it's getting the wheels done. So I'm after making the wheels up. Right, there they are. There we've all the wheels. There's our road wheels. Okay. There was let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts to each road wheel. We've got say the two rubbers parts. They're not rubber but they're styrene. We've got the two, say, the main wheels, and then we've got a poly cap in the middle. Oh, you know, usual little bits of clean up from sprue gates and things like that. Went together absolutely beautiful. There's a little key in there. You know what I mean by a key, is in, you know, a slot with a corresponding hole, and they pop together. Give it a twist, click in, a little bit of glue, and yeah, we've got our road wheels. Likewise with our drive sprockets. Okay, same idea again. Okay, and the return rollers, they're done as well. Okay, sorry, no, these are the idler wheels, I beg your pardon, the idler wheels, they're done as well. Okay, so I'm going to carry on now, and next, I think, if memory serves me right, but I'm not going to go with memory, I'm going to go with the instructions, better than memory. Yep, we're into the suspension parts. Okay, the suspension system assembly, as they call it here in the instructions. Okay, so we got to make up the suspension arms with the appropriate torsion bar suspension. Okay, we got to make up 4 parts of one, 2 parts of the other, 4 parts of another, and 2 parts of another again. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 there, as you can see. And then we got 5 and 6. Then we've got some say, what would you call them? Springs. Okay, springs of some kind. Okay, your usual suspension-y thingies. Okay, so I'm going to get them made up, get them fitted to the base, and then we'll carry on. We'll have a look at that then when they're done. We'll see what it all kind of comes out like, and we'll hopefully have a working suspension nice and early in the start. Okay, so let me get them done. I'll get back to you in a sec, and they'll be done as quick as that. Well, they will be for you, but not for me. I've got loads of work ahead of me. But you, quick flashing, ta-da, there they're done. Okay, so see you in a minute. Okay, now I'm working on the suspension, alright, as you know, and I've got one side done, right, and in making that I realised how awkward these parts were. Okay, the ones that have the metal tube in it. Okay, it gives it sort of the spring, we call it a spring. I don't know exactly what they're freaking called, but we call it a spring. Okay, you know, it's like the tube. I know there's a name for it, and it's just totally slipped my mind at the moment, and I've been trying to remember, but feck it, it doesn't. It's irrelevant what they're called anyway. But in the construction of these, it's kind of awkward, right, in how everything sort of fits together. So I'm going to make up one of these, right? We have to make up 4 for each side, so I'm just going to make up one and just show you what I've kind of discovered in how to do this, because like I said, yes, it is actually pretty awkward and it's very easy to break. Okay, very, very easy to break them. So just a little double of super glue, okay, and we're going to super glue this part, right, into the tube. Okay, so just a little drop and pop it in. Okay, so you've that done, right? No, actually, I'll make up all four and I'll just leave that one aside, so that way, yeah, it can be guaranteed that the super glue's kind of gone off a bit, right? So you got 4 of these to do. I said, a little bit fiddly, but pretty straightforward. Right, there's 2. 3. And 4. Okay. Just pop it into the tube. Right. That's pretty straightforward. Doesn't seem that hard. Okay. Now, if we take a look at the tip of this, it's got a little. Right, there you go. You can see it there. Not my dirty fingernail. This here, it's like a little split pin, right? Tiny little thing there, yeah, little split pin, right? Now, I've kind of discovered that if you try to build up the whole thing, like it says here in the instructions, it's actually kind of pretty awkward, okay? It is actually kind of pretty awkward. You've got your holes here, right? My advice is to get this piece, okay, as it is, line it up to the hole, and pop it in. Pop it in now. Okay, nice and early, pop it in. Right, so we've got this piece here then. Right, it's actually 2 pieces because there's a little cover piece onto that, but that's not awkward, that's straightforward. Right, this is where the awkward piece is, I found, right? With these, okay, the arm part of it, make sure they're nice and clean, okay? I didn't clean off the top bit, but I didn't need you to, right? Make sure they're cleaned off, right? Make sure that you've got these side, the whole barrel nicely scraped, okay? Now, that goes on there, and if you look at the tip of that, it's got a little wide piece at the top, right? Now, these are wider at one end, at one side, than they are at the other, and it's very easy to find out because when you pop it in that way, see? It just gently won't go in the whole way, right? It won't go in the whole way the other side either, but it'll go in most of the way. And this is the way I've been doing it. I found it was the easiest, right? Get little pliers and pop. If you try to do it without being nice and even, what can happen is you can break that little bar. I very, very nearly broke one, and just as it started, you know when you bend plastic and you overbend it and it goes white, I noticed that. I went, oh, I gotta figure out an easier way to do this. That's when I figured out, hey, one side is wider than the other. Doesn't really show it here. Okay, it does not show it here that one side is slightly wider than the other. Okay, so fit on the slightly wider part, push it up, and pop it on them with your little pliers. Okay, so now we're ready to fit it. And for fitting it then, it's fairly straightforward. Right, we just pop it in there, pop it down most of the way. Okay, then we can line up this suspension arm, pop that in there, line up the torsion bar, and there we go. Okay. Come on. Just to make it easy for yourselves, lads, because if you are building this kit, there are a couple of fiddly bits. That is definitely one of them, and you know, by me showing you, hopefully you won't break your one. And like I said, I caught that one very, very early enough, and hopefully, you know, I caught it and it won't break on me either. And you got nice workable suspension. This is the one that I was just a little bit dodgy with, a little bit stiff, and I don't want to kind of over push it, because I did kind of damage that little bar there. Okay, now suspension works anyway, right? A little bit more springy than the rest of them. Okay, so there we go. That's the suspension. So I get the rest of them done, and we'll get back to you, and we move on to what's next. Just clear up a bit of space there. So there we go. A little bit of tidying up. I'm always making a mess. Anyway, here we go. Step 3, nicely done now. Okay, we've added the front plate. We finished off all the construction piece, or the suspension pieces, not construction pieces. The suspension pieces, and we've got the holder there for the idler as well. So a quick look at them. Right, all our suspension, all nicely workable. Also give a little bit of sanding to the bottom. There was a bit of a sprue sticky outy bit there. Just sanding, got rid of that. Okay, and we added on then the front plate as well. Hey, come on, there we go. Front plate is on as well. So moving on now with our instructions. Step 4. And as you can see, step 4 has us putting in the holder there, this for the main drive. Okay, our drive sprocket. Remember, they're on polycap, so you can pop it on or pop it off. Okay, we've also got 2 little plates there. We've got the holders then for the our towing cleats, or whatever they're called. And they're very technical with names, I must admit. I love all these names and things, right? So then we've got our return rollers along the top. Okay, we have to make up one of them. One of them is sort of a double one. Okay, and we've got 2 single ones, and they're on both sides. Okay, both sides have to have the same kind of thing in that. Right, there we go. And in step 5 then we've got the sort of the little cover around the drive sprocket mounting housing thingy-majiggy. Okay, thingy-majiggy, that's a technical term actually. Alright, and we've got another couple of those shackles, that's what they're called, shackles. We've got another couple of shackles to go on, and we're popping on the wheels as well. Now I'm not going to be popping the wheels on. I find that the more you pop them on, the more you pop them off, you're going to damage them. You're going to do some form of damage to them. So I'm going to leave them off. Let's just take it for granted that they're on, because I don't leave them off until they're painted and I'm doing the final assembly. So just a little bit of advice here: the more you put them on and take them off, just to say yourself, oh look, it all works and it's all nice. Yeah, it looks good. You can kind of play around with it. It kind of impresses you a bit, but when you go to take those wheels off again, you are going to. You're potentially leaving yourself open, shall we say, to break them. Okay, so don't do it. Don't do it. I don't do it. I give up doing it. I used to do it, and I broke 1 or 2 in the past, and that's what's happened. Just from playing around with it, leave it till the end. Leave it at the very end. Okay, lads. So I'm going to get step 4 and step 5 done, and we'll come back then and have a look at them. Okay. Okay, so I'm after getting those parts done, and as you see from the orange marks, that means do it later. Okay, when I mark something in green, it means it's done. When I have it marked in the orange, it means they have to be done at a later stage. And like I said, I'm going to add in the wheels later, because the more you put them on and take them off, you are going to damage them. Okay, well, you not necessarily are going to damage them, but you're leaving it open for damage. There is a high chance that you will damage them. So don't tempt fate, as I say, because it does sometimes freaking happen. So anyway, there's the return rollers along the top. They're done. These we call them shields, okay, over the drive, okay, they're done. And also we've got the shackles, towing shackles, they're all added as well, okay. So there's our towing shackles, our drive section, which is that piece there, okay, either side. Our return rollers along the side, and down here then didn't do the wheels, but we've got these shields and more shackles again, okay, done. They're all done, all ready to go. So now we seem to be starting on interior, okay. So we're changing colour of sprues, we're into the green sprue, okay. So what we're on now is we're on the floor for the driver and the crew compartment, and for the passengers, okay. So we've got the floor to go in. This here is the mechanism for the door, okay, and that's just the cover for that, and there's a couple of other little bits and pieces now to go in, okay, and that. So we're going to get that done. Anything else that we can kind of do? I won't be putting on the decals because I'm going to wait until I have the whole interior section painted. Have watched a couple of builds of this, and I've decided to make it that I've most 90% of the interior fitted and done, and then paint the interior, because you can get in there with the paint. So why do it now and then doing it in bits and pieces, adding glue, which all you're going to do is just going to take it off, and you're going to have to little touch-ups, and I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea at all. So I'm going to wait till I have most of the interior done before I do any painting on the interior. Okay. So more parts of the interior to do. And I'm going to get all of these done as well before I come back to you, because they're all sort of just little steps, a couple of little pieces. It's pointless sort of adding those pieces and coming back to and show, oh look, there's those pieces in place. So I'm going to get them done. Alright. These and that. Okay, I'm going to get all of them done. So we're going to get as far as step 9, and then I'm going to come back and we'll see how much, what all that sort of looks like, and any problems I may have had with the fitting of them. Hopefully I won't have any problems. I'm not foreseeing any problems. So we're going to get some step 6, 7, 8 and 9 done. Okay, and then we'll come back and, as usual, have a look and a little discussion on it. So see you in a sec. So okay then. So I said I was going to get 6, 7, 8 and 9 done, and I'm also after going up as far as step 11. I hope you don't mind. I'm after going up as far as step 11. So basically I finished off the first half of the interior. Okay, so what I've done, I'll have a quick run through, and we go through some of the instructions, see if there's any problems. I can't remember any problems, to be quite honest with you. The only thing I did find kind of awkward is this little piece here. It tends to fall out. Okay, it does tend to fall out, so be very careful with that piece when you're playing around with the things, because if we can see, here she is here. Okay, it's meant to move in and out, alright, which is all well and grand, but if it goes in too far it can fall out down there. Okay, it can fall out, so we just be mindful of that. Will be used later on for the attachment of the rear door. I think it's something to do with the mechanism for the rear door. So that's that little piece. Just if you're making it, just be mindful of that piece. It can fall out, so be careful. The cover of it and these little kind of holding pieces down at the bottom, no problems with it. And that went in fairly straightforward. The base piece, okay, which is, say, the main piece there, without all the little bits and pieces that I've added since. Right, and again marked off in the orange are the decals, which I'm waiting until I've painted it. Pointless putting the decals on now and then painting it, isn't it? That would be a sort of a defeated purpose. Okay, then we have to fit in a couple of more interior parts, right? We have these two pipes coming down. Obviously they go down into the engine bay, so they're obviously something to do with the engine of some kinds. No problems with them, fairly straightforward. They fitted in quite nicely. Nice locator marks and little holes for them to pop into. Very, very easy. As with this piece here, there's a little kind of a groove cut out down here, and that fits in quite easily as well. Right, then we went on to step 8, where we fitted these couple of pieces here. There's only 4 pieces to be fitted. Very, very quick step. Do follow the numbers, because this piece has to go in first. It goes in behind this piece. That goes over it. Right, and as you see here, there is a slight little gap between the two of them. Okay, there is a little lip here. It's on this piece here. It's just a little lip, right? It just kind of gives it that little gap there. No, how much that gap is or what that gap is for, I don't know. Okay, and then we fitted this thingy majiggy here with those. Okay, so that's that there and that piece there, right? So that basically there is step 8, step 7 and step 8, right? There's step 7 and step 8. Right, step 9, we added another big long armor piece along the inside. We have, I suppose it's a guard of some kind for the turret. You know, to kind of keep out of the turret, because the inside of the piece, part of the turret, will be turning around, where this piece would be pretty solid. So I'd say it's a guard, stop you getting caught up in it. And then we have a couple of little pieces here for where the driver sits. Okay. Then we go on here. There's that little guard, like I said, because the turret will be in here. The turret the turret basket will be spinning, so that will be obviously some kind of guard to protect the people back here. And then we have these 3 pieces here. Again, no problems, quite easy. Literally no problems, none whatsoever. And again, we have another piece marked off for a decal, which goes on here. Okay. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. It goes in there, so obviously it's a warning label of some kind. Keep your feet out. Don't stick your feet past this line, or you're liable to lose your toes. Okay. Now, step 10 has us making up the seats. Now, as you may see that I've that marked off there in orange. And the reason I marked it off in orange is because these seats, right, are not used for some time. Okay, you got the whole engine and all that to be done first, right? So they go in then at a later stage, and very, very small area to work in, so literally as I make, I'll fit. I don't really have room for fragile little pieces like that. They are pretty fragile. Well, don't know for definite, but I'm just guessing that they're going to be fairly fragile, so I don't want them laying around while I mess around with the engine. Because in the next video, I'm going to get the engine all made up, painted, the whole shebang, all ready then to slot into place when the interior has all been painted. So, and for finish then we've fitted the driver's seat and this seat here. Okay, now I don't know what that seat is for. Presumably a section will go in here, so maybe it's for the section commander, or it's a seat for when the when the car commander is not in the turret. It's a seat for him to sit into. Maybe, I don't know. If there's any of the Bradley lads out there, anybody that sort of served in Bradleys or anything like that, or anybody really just knowledgeable and know who actually sits in this seat here, let me know, because I'd be quite interested to know. You know, I do know that the driver sits into this one, but who sits into this seat here? Okay, that's the conundrum for today. So there we are. Okay, all our little bits and pieces fitted, a couple of little other racks and things, right, will be fitted in step 11. And then we're on to our radiator and our engine assembly. And like I said, I'm going to get them all done in the next video. I'm going to get the whole engine and radiator built, painted, the whole shebang in the next video. So stay tuned for that one. And the best way to stay tuned for that one, of course, is to subscribe to the channel. Yes, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, hit the bell. And by hitting the bell, then you will be notified as soon as I do get it made. So thank you very much for taking your time out to watch this first video, first build update on the MENG Bradley, the M2A3 Bradley. No, not the M3A3, which doesn't have an interior. The M2A3 does have an interior. And so far, everything fits in nicely. No problems. None at all. Everything fits in absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. Very pretty. Pretty. So anyway, lads, like I said, join me for the next one where we'll be doing the engine. Thanks for taking your time out to watch this one. And in the meantime, be nice to everybody out there. Stay safe, and like I always say, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, and enjoy it. Okay, or as Uncle Nightshift says, these kits, they don't build themselves. I'll see you soon. Take care.